AWS just made AI agents much easier to ship. Not smarter. Not magical. Just easier to get into production without spending half the week building plumbing. According to Forbes, AWS introduced a managed agent harness in Amazon Bedrock Agent Core that lets developers stand up a working autonomous agent in 3 API calls. That matters because this is where a lot of agent projects actually bog down. Not on the model choice, but on the ugly setup work, provisioning runtime, wiring tools, handling auth, sandboxing code execution, and keeping state alive long enough to finish a real task. AWS says the new harness handles the reasoning loop, tool selection, action execution, and response streaming inside an isolated micro-VM. The pitch is simple: declare the model, the system prompt, and the tools, then run the agent instead of hand-stitching the orchestration yourself. And AWS did not stop at the harness. Forbes says it also added an Agent Core CLI, a persistent file system for agents that need to pause and resume, and coding agent skills, with Kiro available now and Claude Code, Codex, and Cursor support rolling out by the end of April. The broader Agent Core product page makes the strategy clearer. AWS is selling this as a secure agent platform with memory, a gateway for tools and data, a browser runtime, and a code interpreter. In other words, the company wants agent infrastructure to feel less like a research project and more like normal cloud deployment. This is the practical underdog angle. If setup friction really drops, smaller teams get leverage. They do not need to beat the biggest labs on model prestige. They just need to ship a useful agent faster. So the real story is not that AWS has the most glamorous agent announcement of the day. It is that AWS is trying to turn agent building into boring cloud work, and boring is exactly what makes new workflows spread. Verdict: if 3 API calls replaces a week of agent glue code, that is a real advantage, especially for teams that want outcomes, not another demo.